Good morning, everybody. Let's call this meeting to order for Commissioners Court for November 27th, 2018. At this time, we would like to ask Mr. Wayne Bickley from Soda Baptist Church to lead us in prayer.
Thank you again for this opportunity. In Jeremiah 33:3, it says, "Call to me, and I will answer you, and I will tell you great and unsearchable things that you do not know." And I am so glad that Polk County still opens this meeting with prayer. And what we're doing, we're asking and praying and that God will tell us things that we don't already know. And so I appreciate this opportunity. Father, as we come right now and this Commissioner's Court begins to meet, just as your word has just claimed there in Jeremiah, I'm asking that you will instill in these men and women that make decisions that lead this county. I'm praying right now that you will let them lean upon you and that you will hear this promise that you've given us, that you're going to provide them knowledge that they have not already acquired. Because God, here at Polk County, we don't want to just be a run-of-the-mill county. We want to be the best in the state. And God, that's why we're asking you right now to use these officers that are elected here in Polk County to lead us. I pray right now that you will use their ability and their willingness to hear you to make the decisions that are best for the people in Polk County. Thank you for Polk County and what it stands for. God, I thank you for the progress that you've made through the Center of Hope. And we're seeing so many changes in Polk County because of that facility that you brought to the Polk County. Thank you again for all that you do. We thank you for your son Jesus and the provision he provides that we can come to you boldly right now. And it's in Jesus' name I pray these things. Amen.
It looks like Mr. Johnson is not available again. Shalana, you want to lead us in the pledges?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. On the Texas flag, I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Mr. Bickley. You are more than welcome to leave when you're ready, but you're more than welcome to stay also.
Thank you.
Okay, did anyone sign up for public comments?
No, ma'am.
Informational reports. A couple of things. One is we do want to offer our condolences to our criminal district attorney, Lee Hahn, for the death of his mother. So please keep them in your thoughts and prayers. And then also, I would like to introduce everyone our new office manager, Delphina Woods. She is the new office manager for the county judge. Informational reports, delinquent tax office.
I have a packet.
Yes, ma'am.
Morning. How are you?
Good.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're fine. You're good. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Good morning to you all.
Good morning.
Okay, so the first page on the little packet I just handed you out, it's a delinquent statistics report. So the total delinquent taxes collected for the county, this is base tax, penalty and interest. We collected a little over $1 million for the fiscal year, October through September of 18. We filed 329 suits, totaling $989 in delinquent taxes. The county portion was 327 in delinquency. Total suits resolved 234. This includes releases of judgments and dismissals, a little over $1 million. We held 3 sales. First sale was December, May, and August. We set 203 properties for sale, sold 84, and brought in a little over $450,000 in sales. The next page is a year-to-date report. I've highlighted the 2017 tax year, and the percentage that we're collected right now, we're at 96% collected for that tax year, with most years at 99% in collections. The next page is a graph. This is a turnover report. The 2017 turnover, July 1st, 936,000. Out of that, in 3 months, we've already collected 298, a little over 31% collected. And that's all.
Anybody have any questions? No, ma'am. Thank you, Rosie.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Have a good day. Okay, old business. This is information that was tabled from the prior agenda, approved minutes of previous meeting. That's the special meeting for November 5th, 2018. A copy of the minutes was included for your review.
So moved.
I have a motion, Commissioner Purvis, second Commissioner Overstreet. Any further discussion or questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, new business consent agenda is on B. You have an addendums. One for FY19 in the amount of $18,857.16. Second one for FY19 in the amount of $42,350.99. And then one for FY18 in the amount of $17,660. Are there any items on the agenda, on the consent agenda you'd like to pull?
D.
Which one?
D.
D, okay. Okay, can I have a motion to
So
approve
moved.
everything else?
Second.
Commissioner Vincent, second Commissioner Overstreet. Any further discussion or questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, item D.
Has anybody talked to them? Are we gonna get a little better service for more money, or they just gonna charge us more money and we get the same pitiful service, or what?
No, sir. Part of what has happened is they've transferred it over to a different corporation, and we should get improved services. So, but they've just now started,
Well, I
started
couldn't
those
find where it said that in all of that stuff they sent us, so.
Yes, we've already started the transition into the other group. There were some bubbles over that, obviously 254 counties, there were going to be some bubbles in it, but we should be receiving better services.
No,
Would you like for us to table that and we'll do more research on it?
no, I mean, I just was curious. I couldn't see in all that stuff they had sent us where they said they were gonna give us better service. It just said, I couldn't really tell what they were
That's-
gonna do besides just charge us more money.
Well, the formatting has changed, and so and now there are also some better security measures in it also. But that's just kind of like updates or upgrades. Because we were having trouble with Sierra just because every now and then everything crashed and went away. Prior to this new group.
Okay. Well, if y'all happy with it, no. IT people or whatever you call them are happy with it, I guess we can be.
Well, that's coming through TAC mostly.
Okay.
Anybody else have any questions? Nope.
Second.
Would you like to make a motion on that, Commissioner Purvis? To accept or reject?
Not really. I will.
Okay, Commissioner Purvis. Second, Commissioner Vincent. Any further discussion or questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, item number 6, consider approval of personnel matters as follows. We had 2 emergency hires, and that was in maintenance and the sheriff. And then you also have 1 emergency promotion, which was in the jail. So this is review and consideration of personnel action form requests which were submitted since the last meeting, and reviewing of any authorized emergency hires.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve, Commissioner Willis, second Commissioner Purvis. Any further discussion or questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, item number 7, consider approval of capital purchases as listed on the FY 2019 capital purchase projections to be paid from the stated fund balance and included on the 2019 reimbursement resolution for year-end issuance of legally authorized debt as follows. A, human resources purchase of 2 scanners in the amount of $870.12 to be paid from general fund balance, and that was already approved on our reimbursement resolution. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Commissioner
Second.
Willis, second Commissioner Overstreet. Any further discussion or questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. B, jail pepper ball savings bundle in the amount of $999.95 to be paid from the general fund balance, and that too was approved on the reimbursement resolution.
I got a question.
Yes, sir.
What's a pepper ball?
It's like a paintball gun, shoots the same little, like a paintball, but instead of it having the paint in there, it's got like a pepper powder is what it is. So it's the same technology as spray, but it has a powder.
It's for riding or if there's any problems in the jail.
Okay, well, I just seen we had electronic hopper, and I didn't know. Well, okay, I didn't.
Well, I can explain
Well,
that.
we're going, those are related. The B was on the resolution, but the additional of the electronic hopper was not on the reimbursement resolution, and so they had to be separated.
I was just curious what they were. When they said electronic hopper, I thought they was playing bingo down there.
Might not be a bad thing.
It's a recreational issue. We'll talk about that later.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve Commissioner Vincent,
Second.
second Commissioner Willis. Any further discussion or questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, item number 8, consider new requests for capital purchases which were not submitted for and or included in the FY 2019 capital purchase projection, and that is a jail request for the addition of an electronic hopper for the pepper balls in the amount of $226. And if we want to move forward, what the funding source is going to be. And that's what he's talking about, that is in addition to.
Right, and it's just the difference in the technology. The original package had like a gravity feed, a hopper that goes on top, so you have to actually be holding the gun level for the rounds to feed down in it. The electric hopper, it's actually 2 hoppers, it's one for each gun. The gun can be turned at any angle, can be pointed straight up, shot being upside down. So it's a technological thing that just helps the equipment work even better than what it already does.
All right.
So that would be in the amount of $226.
Motion to approve and pay out of the general fund.
Very well. Commissioner Willis, second.
Second.
Commissioner Purvis, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item number 9, consider approval of offers to purchase tax foreclosed properties as follows. We have Precinct 2 and Precinct 4. Commissioner Vincent,
Motion to sell.
motion to sell. Commissioner Overstreet,
Motion to sell.
I'll take that as a first and a second. Any further discussion or questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, item number 10, receive environmental report from Goodwin Lassiter Strong regarding the Taylor Lake Estates Emergency Watershed Project, NRCS 2016-48373, Taylor Lake.
Thank you.
Good morning, Pat.
Morning. We completed the field assessment on the environmental side a couple of weeks ago, and the report is now being drafted. Right now, it looks like what we're going to do is we'll have to do a pre-construction notification to the Corps in Galveston with the recommendation to put the project under what they call a nationwide permit, meaning that it's not going to need a site-specific permit. It's just a general list of conditions we have to adhere to during construction. So I'm about 2 weeks away, and we'll get that submitted to the court. And then from that point, then we'll be ready to go to bids.
Sounds good.
Does anybody have any questions about it? Or Bob, do you have any questions in addition to that?
No, we just need to keep the ball rolling.
Yes, sir. One thing that has changed, I don't think it's going to change anything on the construction end, but when we went out and did the environmental in the field, the river was up to the road almost. And the prior times, fortunately, when we had surveyed it, the river was down at normal bank level, so it was about 20 feet underwater when we went out. But that didn't hinder what we needed to do. We just needed to make sure that all those I's were dotted and all the T's were crossed along with NRCS's approval. So.
Well, and you think with all the moaning and groaning about siltation in the river and in the bays, that they would be more than happy to do some mitigation.
Yeah, that's right.
Upriver.
That's right. And that location of all of them has had a fair amount of erosion because based on what we picked up out in the field originally, and when you look at our photos from the original survey, you've got some sandbars out there now that I'm sure at one time was that bank. Mm-hmm. And I would agree. You wouldn't think they'd have too many problems with trying to mitigate this.
Very well. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Appreciate y'all.
Okay, item number 11, consider any and all necessary action regarding bid number 2019-11, county-owned lease space located at 410 East Church Street, Suite A, Livingston, Texas, 77351. The auditor's report is in there, and let's open it for discussion. Okay, the high bid that we received was for 72 cents a square feet, which is basically half of what the court had decided previously. We have received information on multiple occasions that the minimum is $1.25 a square foot. I still feel like that we are basically subsidizing a multi-million-dollar business if we accept this proposal.
Can I be heard on this?
Yes, sir, you may.
You didn't read the other bids. What are the other bids?
Well, the other bids are like 35 cents and 25 cents.
Well, you went through the bid process.
Yes, sir.
You called everybody in town to get them to bid on it.
They got the opportunity, yes, sir.
You actively called people to bid on it.
We actively asked.
And you've
for people to
gotten
bid.
3 fair bids.
Yes, sir.
So what is your basis for refusing what is obviously a fair bid?
Because originally you all received that, then it was because we were attempting to receive a service that would be otherwise unavailable. At this point in time, since 2000.
That's not the question, Sydney.
No. Let me finish. So originally, that was the intent of you receiving a reduced price. But at this point in time, there are other services that could potentially utilize that space.
Where did they bid?
They did not bid.
Well, then they don't need it.
Well, we don't know that because
Wait a minute. What's the purpose of the bid process? By the way, I'm not speaking for man. I'm speaking as a tax-paying citizen of Polk County here. That you've got a building over there. Half of that building has been unable to be occupied for 2 months because of sewage backup by the other tenants. This is not grade A prime space in River Oaks. This is located on the off side of Polk County. The young lady you had come in here and give you that estimate was a real estate agent. And she was not a qualified appraiser. She's not a certified appraiser. And she was talking about space that's up here by the hospital.
No, sir, we had other realtors that also gave us the same information previous to that.
Well, did they bid on it?
We then actually paid someone to do it.
You did pay somebody to do it?
Yes, we then actually paid
When was that
Kelly
presented?
Workman's.
When was that presented?
Kelly Workman came and made a presentation to the court.
But is she a certified appraiser?
Through her group, there are
She's a what?
Through her group.
Well, I'm just saying that you have bids, so it seems to me that the county should accept the high bid that they received. that, you know, it's, to me, man has bid more than, or twice as much as the next highest bidder,
Yes, sir, they have.
okay? So I don't understand, and I don't know that the commissioners understand why you would refuse a bid, you know.
I
That
myself
eye
cannot
center
refuse
has
a
been
bid
in
by
there.
myself.
The Livingston Eye Center and its various legal permutations has been in that location for 30 years.
Yes, sir.
It's paid the rent every month and never missed a payment.
No, sir, it's missed two.
That is not correct.
You have missed October and November.
That is not correct. We gave you those checks. You have not cashed them.
Yes, sir, and we were advised by legal counsel.
Well, then, you know, I've
not
got
to
legal
cash
counsel
those.
too. And,
Well-
you know, our legal counsel said that they read that contract and said that until the lease is renegotiated, it would continue at the same rate.
Well, then
But
my
you have the
suggestion-
checks in your possession, have not cashed them. Is that
That is
correct?
correct.
Okay.
And we were told, because the court order was for $1.40. And basically, you all decided not to pay.
I didn't decide anything, but you know,
appear to
the
be
answer is
speaking for them.
they have continued to make the payments. Now, you know, you all can vote on this any way you want to. It's certainly up to the commissioners to decide.
And you know what my suggestion was going to be? My suggestion would be that we have an executive session and we involve Man Eye Center and they come talk to us.
I think they're over,
Send
based
us
on
their
the
legal
bids,
team.
they're overpaying now.
Well,
Your next bid was, what was it? It was either 30 or 35 cents, depending on how she read the bid. I was there for the reading. The other one was 25 cents a square foot, and Man bid 72 cents a square foot.
25 cents a square foot is what you have currently paid us. That is what.
I
we
don't,
should
that's
check.
somebody else's bid. That's not what we're paying. We're bidding 72 cents, or Man is
No,
bidding
sir.
72 cents.
Well, could Man Eye Center show us what they pay in other cities comparable to our size?
I don't know, I'm not Man, you have to ask them. I'm sure that would be a
Well, then we
question for
need to
them,
go
but,
to an
but
executive
the
session.
question is, the purpose, excuse me, but I don't understand the purpose of the bid process.
At any time, if the court feels that they are not receiving fair bids, we have rejected all bids before.
Okay, well,
And at this
I
point in
can't,
time-
I cannot speak for what Man will do, but as a taxpayer, there's something about this process that seems to me to be a little off kilter. That's all I'm saying. It's just a little off kilter that you go, Man agreed to try to negotiate a better rate with you several months ago.
No, sir. We contacted Man Eye Center, and they told us that it was all being handled by their legal counsel. We asked them how we could contact them so that we could talk to them, and we were told that they would not disclose their contact information or who was involved. So I don't know who the legal team is that's supposedly representing Polk County, but the court has not appointed a legal team.
You know, just speaking as an individual, I'm perplexed about this, you know, very perplexed about why this is being handled this way.
Because I think that it's in the best interest of
So
the
you
taxpayers.
think that's in the best, you individually think this?
Any commissioner here can voice their opinion. Tom, it's not just me. Yes,
Well-
I, in good conscience, don't think that we should agree to such a reduced rate.
But it isn't, if you go through the bid process, you know, we live in a capitalistic society where you have bids and offers, and when a bid and an offer come together, you have an agreement. You have advertised this, you've given adequate time, and you've received 3 valid bids,
And-
none of which
and-
is half of what Man is bidding.
And
So-
none of which reach anywhere close to what we should be asking or
Well, when
receiving.
it's sitting over there vacant, it's not gonna be producing any money at all. So, I don't know, it's sitting, I just
It may
don't
not
understand.
necessarily sit over there vacant, because we do have other types of businesses that would be interested in it if they can receive a reduced rate, which is the same courtesy that was extended to
Well, you know, that there is a public service in this. I mean, for example, Charlene does in fact see injured patients from the jail who were brought up there because of fights
sir,
and eye
and I
injuries, and when
understand
no
that.
one else in town would see them. But, okay, that's fine. If you don't consider it to be a valuable service, that's fine. I'm glad to hear that.
Well,
But I think that you're making a
No,
mistake
sir,
not
I
to
did
accept this
I
bid.
did not say I did not consider it a valuable service. I said that I feel like that the taxpayers, that their money, that they need to receive, well, at least close to what that is worth.
Something in this country, something is worth exactly what somebody is willing to pay for it,
Yes,
whether
sir.
it be a Rolls Royce, a Learjet, or space over there in that building. That's what it's worth. and you were unable, despite your efforts, to beat out as many bids as possible to come up with anybody that
And
would
you know
come up
what?
with half of what
And
we
you know
did.
what? We do that with everybody. We want the county and we want
That's
the
fine.
taxpayers to be
I don't
taken
have
care
a
of.
problem with that, but having gone through that process, the question is, why don't you accept the high bid?
Well, then, why don't we set up an executive session and discuss it with Man Eye Center and have legal counsel?
I can't speak. Is that okay, man?
Yeah.
Okay.
Very well, we will set
All
up
right.
an executive session.
I don't think that's necessary. I think we've got 3 bids here, and we need to accept the high bid, and I make a motion that we go with Man Eye Center.
Okay. We have a motion to accept the 72 cents per square foot for Man Eye Center. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second, Commissioner Purvis. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Aye. 3. Okay, motion fails. How about, can I have a motion to set up an executive session to discuss the contract and the options with Man Eye Center?
So moved.
Commissioner Overstreet? Commissioner Vincent? All in favor of an executive session to find a resolution for Man Eye Center?
Aye.
Aye. Commissioner Purvis? Aye.
No.
Okay, 4
Just send it somewhere.
to 1. Very well, thank you. Okay, item number 12, consider any and all necessary action regarding request to Texas Department of Transportation for county purchase of reclaimed asphalt wrap, including method of payment.
On this right here, did they have any surplus wrap?
They did, they had 2,000.
Was it showed, well, there's two, how much, what are we getting?
$20.
No, what I'm saying on that 2,000 that they had from the Livingston yard, how much of ours comes out? I mean, what was
That's
our
over-
total?
I think that's over and above what they've already allotted us.
Yeah. I think there's 2,000, oh, I hadn't talked to him, that's what I was wondering when I seen this, I didn't know if we had 2,000 above it or what.
Yeah, if we won't pay $20 a yard for it.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah, like we done before, but I just did, you know, before they had 6,000, 7,000 yards back there, and now they don't. I'm just wondering if they have, our allotment was how many yards?
much.
From 300, 306,
When you
y'all
half
were
of that.
2,
About half of that.
about half, a little over, what, 1,200 yards thereabouts? So there's another, what, 800 yards available?
I thought it was.
Yes, sir.
I mean, the way it's always been before, they said 2,000 yards, we had that, our allotment come out of that 2,000 yards. It's just like guardrail or anything else there that they have on that sheet. So I guess
Yeah, we can buy it.
buy what they have. Yeah, I was wondering how much there would be there.
Well, it says
I
on the
get it.
surplus page 2,000.
Yeah. But like I say, when you're in kind is guardrail, surplus guardrail, surplus pipes, all that stuff's all listed on that one page.
Individually.
Mm-hmm. And then like if you wanted 200 yards of wrap and then 1,000 feet of guardrail, that went against your wraps, what I'm saying. It doesn't matter to them, they've got a dollar amount and you take it out of any materials that you want up there.
Yeah.
Guardrail, post, whatever you want. That minuses off your wrap. Like if you're allowed $10,000, you want to buy $8,000 worth of wrap, and then $2,000 worth of other stuff, that's your $10,000. Not $10,000 in wrap and the other stuff, the way it's worked before.
I thought it was what we were allotted plus the 2,000 surplus. As long
I
as we
don't
pay,
think-
as long as we pay the $20.
I don't know.
I guess we can find out.
We can go ahead and make the deal on it and find out what they got to buy it.
Is the court interested in the other surplus?
Surplus wrap.
Yeah, probably so.
Yeah, if we can get it. I'm just saying when I seen this is, I don't think there's 2,000 extra yards up there on, just show 2,000 on the paperwork. And our allotment comes out of that 2,000.
Whatever's left.
Yeah,
If that's the
we'll buy it.
case.
But I haven't talked to Patty to see how much they have up there. To actually, if they have any to sell.
Where'd this $24,000 number come from?
That's our,
Method of payment to total from
That's
tax
the total,
side.
4 precincts.
And we don't pay for it.
that's our in-kind money.
Yeah, we don't have to pay for that.
Yeah, we don't have to pay for that.
Okay, we'll buy them whatever they got left, and they just be split up between the precincts.
Yep.
Sounds good.
Yep. If they have any, we'll do that. So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Overstreet, second Commissioner Purvis. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item number 13, consider approval of contract for professional services relating to possible redistricting resulting from the 2020 census. This is the copy of what Allison Basson McGee proposal for a fixed fee. Basically, it's a flat rate fixed fee, so it will not, it depends on what happens, whether or not we do have to be redistricted. But what they do is they have an initial assessment fee, which is $5,000, and that's for them to do all the research and compile the data to determine whether or not we need redistricting. And then if we do need redistricting, then we will have to pay them up to the additional monies. But it's a flat rate, so it can't go any higher if we sign on initially.
Don't you think we probably ought to go out for proposals to see who else wants to do this?
We certainly can. No one else offers a flat rate fixed fee, though. And this is also a first come, first served basis.
Well, I make a motion we go out for RFPs.
Okay. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second, Commissioner Purvis. All in favor say aye.
Uh,
Okay. I'm going to vote against that because I don't think we can find a flat fee person. Okay. Next page, number 14.
We can make that an option
Hmm?
in our RFP.
Yeah, we could ask for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can include that. Okay, item number 14, receive rating and recommendations from court-appointed scoring committee and consider any all necessary action relating to Hurricane Harvey, DR 4332 recovery program, request for proposals and qualifications for grant administrator and engineering services.
What does that number entail? Is that the housing part?
It's infrastructure.
It's infrastructure.
Infrastructure, okay.
Yes, sir.
They have all these numbers, but it's infrastructure grant.
Yes, sir. And the rating committee met yesterday. Commissioner Willis was unable to join us, but since it's basically in his precinct, then, and there wasn't a whole lot of difference in terms of the engineering, and certainly Pat is here today also. And it looked like Waxman was far and above. So, Commissioner Willis, do you have a recommendation?
Yeah, I recommend we go with Goodwin, Lassiter, and Strong.
Very well. That comes as a motion.
So moved.
Second, Commissioner Overstreet. Any further discussion or questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. And what about your grant administrator?
Pat, y'all do grant administrative work?
No, sir.
I guess Waxman does.
Yes, sir. And Waxman had, the cost with Waxman was 6% as opposed to the others, which were anywhere from 6% to 12%.
Can I go with Waxman?
Yep. Motion for Waxman by Commissioner Willis.
Second.
Second, Commissioner Vincent. Any further discussion or questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. You had a good proposal. Looks good. Okay.
Move to
Commissioner
adjourn.
Overstreet.
Second.
10:35.
Very well. Aye. Thank you, gentlemen. Everybody have a good day.
Yes, ma'am, you too.